hearing now.
Yeah, so I watched that Doge Subcommittee meeting.
I didn't. This is always gonna be like the whole Doge thing.
It was like a 2-hour video. It was like a little bit over 2 hours in regards to the meeting. I watched it live on it. Man, the Democrat Party, granted, there were a few voices in there who were loud and vocal and were trying to, I would say fight back in the way that they're supposed to. The overall people in there, lackluster. They didn't have their stuff in order. They're not convincing in regards to what they're doing. And a lot of them were it seemed like they was making things into a joke. And that's what kind of was a little disparaging. It was disparaging a little bit to kind of see. But let me show you one of these guys, right? So he is a Democrat. I believe this man's name, I want to make sure I say it correctly. He is a Democrat with my brother. I understand what you was trying to do, but I don't see this as the win that he thought this was. So I'm gonna just play a little bit from the committee hearing, just so y'all can.
You're welcome. I now recognize the gentleman from California, Mr. Garcia.
Well, thank you. Thank you to all of our witnesses for being here. And I want to just start off by making something clear. I think we're all here to fight against the lies, the corruptions, and the attacks on our social safety net. Now, we should in no way be cooperating with House Republicans who want to shut down the Department of Education and destroy Medicare and Medicaid. And we should not stand by as the richest man on the planet gives himself and his companies huge tax cuts while the American people get absolutely nothing. Now, I find it ironic, of course, that our chairwoman, Congresswoman Green, is in charge of running this committee. Now, in the last Congress, Chairwoman Green literally showed a dick pic in our oversight congressional hearing. So I thought I'd bring one as well.
So what he now shows to the committee.
Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. He's also the world's richest man. He was the biggest political donor in the last election.
So he shows Elon Musk's picture saying, I'm showing y'all a dick pic. So I feel like that's a good win right there, right? Like, I think he's doing exactly what he needs to do to pull that off.
Did the lady actually show a dick pic, or did she also
No,
show
she
a
did.
picture of Elon
This
Musk?
is, that's bleach blonde, bad built.
Butch body,
Yeah.
yeah. Did she showed a dick?
Yeah, she was trying to show it as evidence, but yeah, it was a dick pic that she showed on the committee floor
Blurred it.
that she was doing. So I want to show now. This is Mr. Garcia, his final point, and this is where I feel like when you do stuff like this gives the other side the ammunition that they need to call all of y'all doofuses and idiots, because they don't hold that same consistency for themselves. Mm-hmm. But when you do this,
The committee wants to empower the richest person in the world to hurt people so they can take all of this money that they so-called want to save and then give it to themselves, their companies, and their billionaire friends. That is the attack that is happening in this committee and across this country, and it's important that we call it out. We also know, of course, that Elon Musk is sending his unqualified Doge staff to carry out this agenda across all these agencies. And in some cases, actually teenage staffers. No accountability, no experience, and problematic records. They're trying to rob you, and they're probably a minor. Thank you, and I yield back.
that's the American congressman right there.
Why?
That's what we get. That's the best we can get right there. Like that shit was
He
awful.
was like, "Oh, I listen to hip hop." Yeah, you're fucking pathetic. Just do your job. You don't have to be cool. This is the problem.
No, they're trying to connect and they do it the wrong way.
Like, what? You don't need to connect to me in any other way other than telling me how the fuck you're gonna help my life be easier on a daily basis. And how you're not going to continue taking away my rights. I don't need you to know songs. What the fuck is happening?
And then the fact that they have...
Oh my God, I cannot.
No, but then the fact that you have all of these guys up there, these Democrats, these Republicans, who keep using these same buzzwords about waste, abuse, and fraud. And then the examples that they use, check this out. The examples that they keep using, granted, this was about Medicare for the large part of their conversation, but the granted they kept using in regards to big time scandals and fraud and usage. It wasn't a political person that they identified or a bureaucrat who's funneling money back to their accounts or to their, to the Cayman Islands or anything. You know what they talk about?
What?
PPP loans. They talking about Jew niggas and your PPP loans. And again, they had little stories about, there was some Romanians who were, trying to bring fentanyl in. And so they got tax money. And no, they talking about Jew niggas buying cars and jewelry, doing fraud and waste with the money. They talking about y'all niggas. So again, all of these, that's what's funny about this shit. Cause the niggas who are the scamming niggas be the Trump niggas too. And as you can see, it was all of them talking about what? Oh, Trump giving us money. Trump about to give us the bag. And who the first people they throw under the bus? You stupid niggas. You PPP loan fraud niggas. First person he throws under the bus. So I thought that was pretty funny. They have 4 people up there. All right. Most of them were Doge like clowns. They were just going to say whatever Elon Musk told them to. But there was one dude on there who I should respect. His name was like Hetlith or something. Hitler. And he had sunglasses on. So at first, I didn't really know where he stood at. And I'm just like, how bro gonna find, any fraud with some sunglasses on? Apparently, he was blind. So, I didn't mean to, be disrespectful in my thought process in regard to that. So I didn't know. I didn't know who the nigga was.
You should have known.
That he was blind?
Yep.
That didn't come to my head that he was blind. So he was actually the only person
That's
out there.
Very ableist of you that you didn't assume that he was blind.
I feel like it would be ableist of me
You
to
just
assume he
assumed
was
that he
blind.
had sight.
I thought maybe the light or something could
Wow,
be.
ableist.
Yeah, I thought maybe the
You're
light or
an
something in the
asshole.
room was, hurting him, and that's why he had his sunglasses on. That's neither here nor there. He was the only person telling the truth. When they say justice is blind, they wasn't lying. He was the only person out there giving it up. They asked him real questions. He gave them real answers. They asked him about, Trump firing all of the attorney generals. He goes up there again. He's supposed to be on the Doge side. He says, any operation that's talking about getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse, to get rid of those people, when that is their job to do that, is counterproductive. So they had people on the Doge side being critical of what they were doing. Literally everybody up there was saying legitimate shit, talking about how we need congressional reform, that anything that change is done under Trump can't stack if a new president comes in and writes it all away, that we need to go through Congress, which everybody in a who know any kind of civics, any kind of like how you would go about congressional law would know that's what you're supposed to do. And when they're trying to highlight the issue that they have with Doge, which is, y'all coming in and have this unelected billionaire go through all of this private information and he has no clearance and nobody gets to checks or balance what y'all are doing. Y'all get to cut off all of this shit. And they keep trying to say, it's fraud, it's waste, it's all this other stuff. When every time when they go back and look at it, it's just them attacking people at the bottom. So there was some Democrats who stood on business, and I appreciate that. So again, Marjorie Taylor, the bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. Her arch nemesis, Jasmine Crockett, she got her shit off.
Waste, fraud, and abuse is, I don't know why you would go to some tech guy. In fact, it was only techies that were sitting there at inauguration. We didn't have auditors. I would welcome auditors to come in and do forensic audits. In fact, he sat there in the Oval Office yesterday and he admitted that he was lying and he was using his propaganda machine to do it when he said that we sent millions of dollars to Gaza for condoms. That was a lie. So let me tell you something.
The
We were
gentlelady's
duly
time
elected,
has expired.
And it is time for
The
us to
gentlelady's
do our
time has
job
expired.
and
You're
rein
right.
in this rogue actor known
The gentlelady's
as
time has expired. I now recognize the gentleman from Missouri, Mr. Burleson.
So, like I said, that's Taylor. That's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, this is what she said later on about that little interaction that she had. And this is what I mean, where this lady she shouldn't even have her position. She is a racist. Listen to what she says here.
People that Elon Musk has hired to do these audits literally wrote an AI program to decode the scrolls of Pompeii that no one else was able to do. I'd say he's qualified to do an audit.
Well, that's a little bit above Miss Crockett's intelligence level, so she doesn't really understand that. The reality is Democrats like Miss Crockett, Mr. Garcia,
That's
pitching their
crazy.
temper tantrums.
Like,
and not
the stuff that she's able to get away with and that she has gotten away with. It's disgusting.
They should.
She like it was. They were talking about like having decorum and stuff during the committee hearing. For her to be anyone's director, any chairman of any committee, to dictate decorum, she has no right to even say that. It's just it's a sad. It was a sad thing in there because when you listen to them, they keep just repeating the same talking points, the same idea. Oh, how are you not against abuse and waste and fraud? But again, why are we not looking at the military? I wonder if it's because Elon Musk has contracts there.